You're not in a hurry because northbound is backed up all the way to 18th Street. And the southbound ain't looking much better. So you might
This is
suppose
ridiculous.
you got a whole lot of people that
Please,
work this
come
morning.
on.
Are you one of them? You're here, but it's right.
Had enough yet?
No, Dad, not even close.
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
I'd like to propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I trusted you!
Back off! Ready to bleed? This is over. All right, coming through.
Let's do this! Gotcha!
Going up. Need a hand? Might want to look up.
I'm up! See how you like this? It's an army!
I am ending you. I see it all now.
Hello, Evo. Hope your Vegas has been going well. Thank you for stopping by. Everyone in the audience, the millions watching on live stream, thank you so much for being with us. So, for Skybound and Quarter Up, this is the Invincible VS Panel at Evo. And me, I'm Jeff Landa. I'm the community director here, joined by a good chunk of the dev team, a lot of the leads here. We're actually going to rotate the entire team in for the rest of the night. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to just start by introducing our actual panel as soon as this clicker works. Or next slide. Hey, there you go. So one by one, just real quickly, name, title, and some cool projects you've worked on just to give an idea to the crowd what you've done. Who wants to go first? Dave, you go first.
No way, my leg.
Oh my God.
I'll go first. I see my face. Mike Willett. I'm the executive producer on Invincible VS. You may have remembered me. You may have remembered me as the producer on Killer Instinct in 2013 at Double Helix Games. I was also your announcer in that game and the voice of Jago.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Which one? In the cooking. You didn't know that? The more you know. People.
Oh, you're playing popcorn here? Don, please go. Please.
Don Waters, animation director on Invincible VS. I was also the animation lead on Killer Instinct 2013. Loved working on that. Love to be here at Evo. Thanks for coming to check us out.
All right, Dave.
Dave Hall, game director on Invincible VS. And on 2013, I was the lead combat designer on Killer Instinct.
Dan.
Hey, Dan Eder, art director. I was not part of the Killer Instinct team, so I don't feel left out at all, by the way. But yeah, art director, having a blast working on this game with the super talented team. So thanks for showing up.
Hey. Check out this man's Instagram. I guarantee you've seen work he's done before and you love it.
It's all thought content. Bill.
All right. Nice to meet y'all. I'm Bill, the tech director here on Invincible Versus. I also didn't work on Killer Instinct, but I was at Double Helix for a long time. A lot of fond years there. Worked on Evolve, New World, a bunch of other projects. But yeah, happy to be here. Nice to meet everybody.
Bao.
Hello, I'm Bao, lead combat designer on Invincible Versus. I also got the opportunity to work with this fabulous group of folks on Killer Instinct 2013 as, I guess I was a senior at that time? I don't know, I was just doing shit, so. But yeah.
Making broken characters. Broken good.
Yeah, if there was a broken character, that was probably me. Yeah, I got shit for that, but you're welcome.
And I am Rip, senior combat designer for Quarter Up, and for Killer Instinct, I was the strategy guide author. That kind of counts for something, right? I met a lot of these guys out there for that.
Nice.
Most of you guys probably know me as a commentator here at EVO for Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat or similar, and now I'm a senior combat designer on a fighting game, so it's cool.
So those are our panelists. Let's actually figure out who Quarter Up is, though, as a next slide, as a studio, brand new studio. I know we've seen in the comments, oh, it's the KI devs. You just kind of proved that, but there's a little more to that story. Tell us what you've been doing since then and how the Quarter Up story came to be. Mike, you can tell us better than anybody else, so I'm going to start with you.
So I'm going to take you back in time, probably 13-ish years now. It's been a long time. So when we had shipped KI in 2013, Double Helix Studios got acquired by Amazon. And it was bittersweet because we were so excited to finally get our game, out to the world and play it with everybody. But then as soon as we did it, we had to let it go. And a lot of us still carried that torch, and we really wanted to get back into fighting games and combat games. And so a lot of us went different directions. Some people went to Sony, some people went to other studios, some people remained in Amazon. After shipping a couple titles there, I really had the itch, and I really wanted to get back to what we were passionate about, and that was fighting games and getting back to this community and this opportunity. And so I reached out to a couple people. I'm like, hey, if I started something, would you be interested in coming on board? And most of them were like, fuck yeah, like just tell me when and where. And so I had contacted some people, and at the time I had contacted Patrick Gilmore, and I'm like, hey, I want to start up another studio. And he's like, let me get back to you in 2 months. 2 months passed. He got back in touch with me and basically said, Mike, how would you like to pitch for a studio and a game at Skybound? And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And he's like, what is the first game you want to do? And I'm like, I want to do an Invincible fighting game. I want to do a tag battle fighting game. And really, like, our charter and our vision is we want to make every player look and feel like a badass. So as you can see, it's like combat, passion, presentation, and we want to be at the dead center of that, and we want to work with all of you to make something special and lasting. You can see people in the picture. We might be much older now in the live stream, but we really want to get back to that. We love the community, and we want to be a part of this for years to come. So that's really the genesis of Quarter Up, is getting back here.
But it's not just KI.
Not just
former
KI.
There's
there's new blood, like
right.
Dan.
So there's
Bill,
Rip, the most obvious new face. Dave or Bao. Tell the story about how you found Rip and managed to get him to join the team. Then Rip, I'd love your take too.
You go for it. Oh, well, when we were starting to get software off the ground, some solid prototypes, we're like, hey, who are a lot of the people that we talked to that gave us like really valuable feedback that were highly trusted and friends of ours? And I'm like, what if I invite Rip over? I'm just gonna send him a DM. So I invited Rip over to my house. So I had to tell the wife and kids to split for a minute and hide the dogs, and Dave was over, and we anxiously waited for Rip to arrive. And I'd hooked up my PC to the TV in my office, and he walked in and he goes, hey, what are we doing? What? I'll let you take her there.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. I saw the TV, I saw Invincible, I was like, oh shit, Invincible, let's go, right? But at the time, I'd done focus tests for you guys on Killer Instinct and Breakaway, so I was expecting something that was like really close to being done. So when I first saw the game, I was like, oh, they're in trouble, But then afterwards, I saw everything come together. I was like, oh shit, this thing's gonna be dope. So obviously, that's when I wanted to be involved in the project itself too.
Was there any hesitation at all of like bringing in someone that hasn't done traditional dev, or was it like instantly, yeah?
No, because the way Rip thinks as like a designer, like the way that he thinks about player interactions, what's fun, what's not fun, and then also being so involved in like data and like Rip, you have like an engineering background, right?
I have a computer science degree, so I actually went to school wanting to be a game developer way back in the day. So I got my computer science degree, I went off and did like really boring programming. I was like, this sucks. So then I thought that was my life. I was a commentator for a long time, and when I was at KI actually, doing the strategy guide, I kind of had the idea of like maybe I should get into this, but I still never submitted a resume or anything. And there was Bao who actually DM'd me for this, and I was like, what is this job thing? Because that sounds like me. And then he was like, do you have any experience? And I was like, no, but I know how to program, basically. And so yeah.
I work with Rip all the time. Yeah, and he's a great asset to the team. You know, I mean, he knows fighting games. It's in his blood. It's in his bones, like the rest of us. And you know, he's a great designer as well. And just having the chops in computer science, so he's slotted right in like it was nothing. And we worked with Rip for years. You know, on KI. You did some testing at Breakaway. Yeah, you called Breakaway. We did. He worked with us on stuff at Amazon, and so and also Jeremy. You know. And we've always made combat. Yeah, exactly. And we've always made combat games. We even talk about too, like if we're going to make a chess game, it would definitely involve blood and punching and attacks. So, and that's why I love working with these guys. Bao. When they first called me up, Mike called me up and said, "Hey, we're getting the band back together." First name in my head was Bao. You know, and they were already talking to Bao, of course. And then when I saw Dave was on the call, I was like, "This is easy. I don't even care what we're making. We're just working on fighting games again. That's all I know." So I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do this."
Rip, one more question for you on the studio, and we'll talk about the build. I know we've chatted before about that moment when you like realized how different the dev side is. You know, kind of analyzing games and doing content for so long. Can you discuss that moment for you? What it was like discovering was having an idea in your head and actually putting it in the game.
You talking about the process of creating something versus just playing something?
Versus like what you understood before.
Oh yeah, I mean I understood frame data. I understood hitboxes and hurtboxes, but how they were all implemented in the engine was a process to learn. But then on the design side, like coming up with the kit for the character, and then how that runs through the animation team to actually decide what those moves look like and get that all polished to be what it is, and then plug that into the engine. Learn that entire process was like really fun and challenging for me. And I'm one of those kind of people who really likes a challenge. So it feels like everything I've done so far has been extra challenging. So I kind of want to take a little break and like do something simple next time maybe.
Awesome. That's the team. We're going to keep telling some stories, but let's get right into the build that players can play right now or have played already. So we have 6 characters here. We have 3 stages. It's a best of 3 local versus matched. You're going to play all 3 matches if you go to our booth. We're supporting pad, stick, leverless. Let's start with the characters, though. Probably just Invincible because we can't go through every single one. But I'd love if you can share that process of grabbing the source material. So maybe it's a question for you, Dan, Dawn, on the animation side. Taking the source material, having the kit that you want to build, and then making them come together. What does that step 1 look like?
I can go. I think when it came to the art style, or how we're gonna depict the characters in the game, there was a pretty long, what we call foundational stage, right? Where we look at the characters, we look at the source material, and then we think, what does the interpretive process entail, right? Like, how do we make it fit the game that we're making while also being true to what Invincible is all about? So, we went through a couple of different iterations, and okay, do we want to go realistic? Probably not the right fit for the IP. Do we want to go hyper toon shaded? That's a possibility. Ultimately, we landed on what we have right now, which is a bit of a hybrid. It's hyper stylized, but also it's very bold and striking. And I think that thought process about the characters, it's not only about the art style, right? These guys, whenever they're starting a new, like what we call design document, it's okay, how can we sort of channel their personality through the stuff like moves, the taunts, intros, outros, VO lines, right? When you get to that character-specific interaction. So throughout the entire process when we're creating a new character, we keep that in mind about, okay, how can we make that an extension of what you know of the character, but one that players are actually going to be able to interact with. And I think that's something that you haven't, the show and the comics haven't been able to do because of the medium.
Don, was Invincible the first person you worked on?
Yeah, Invincible was the very first, and it's like you usually don't want to start with your marquee character in any project, but it was kind of like our proving ground, you know. And it's like Invincible's iconic. It's the name of the show. It's in the game name as well. So we started with him. But I think the important thing, and the way that we maybe work from other developers, is like we're super collaborative. The idea wins. That's the way we work. We're like zero ego. We tell people when we interview them too, it's like, if you got a major ego, you're probably not going to fit in here. And so it's really just about like, what is the best idea, and then what works. And then Mark, there was a lot of work, and like, again, because he's kind of like our base character, he's our entry character, he's a bit rushed down. And then it was like, so how does he fit within a fighting game? Like Dan was saying, his name is Dan. As Dan was saying, how does he fit within a fighting game, but also how do we stay true to the character? And so a lot of this is research, watching the show, of course, reading the comic, and then capturing. There's so many great poses, so much great reference. I've never had so much great reference in a game that I've ever worked on. And so it's really like finding iconic poses of Mark, and it's like you may not remember exactly where you saw that pose or that moment, but a lot of it's captured from the show, from the comic, and that way it feels like that character, even though it's in the confines of a fighting game. So it's been we've done that with all the characters, right? Where it's like Eve's a zoner, but it's like, how does Eve as a zoner, how is she going to move in the show, and then what callbacks can we have to the show and the comic? And it's been an awesome challenge so far.
How many times have you watched the episodes over and over again?
It's so the whole show at least twice through, and then it's a lot of clips.
You have an actual answer at this is great.
Oh yeah, no, I mean reference is huge. Reference is huge with animation in general, and especially with an IP, right, where it's like we respect the IP, we respect fighting games, we respect you folks. We want to make sure that it's like when you pick up our game and you start playing it, you feel the Invincible part of it, but you also feel the fighting game roots and the accessibility, but also the deep systems as well. You know, it's like we're very cognizant of everything, and we're all fight game guys. We love fighting games. You know, I've worked on fighting games since KI, a lot of combat, but it feels so great to be back here working on this IP with this team again, and the new blood we got, and to be at EVO. I mean, come on, this is amazing.
I don't know if this is a game director question, but obviously you're going to do Invincible, but how do you get to choose who the rest are?
Absolutely not.
Who gets to pick? Is it I'm guessing a team choice? Is it?
It's it's basically up to the executive producer who we're going to be doing, and it's up to the fans too, like who they want to see. There's something we always focused on. The most famous characters we're going to start out with first. So, yeah, we don't really choose. Well, we chose.
Really?
It's a negotiation.
It is a negotiation, yeah. And we want to make sure the characters are, different enough in their style so that the play styles can really match the unique characters.
It's usually they suggest a character and I push back. That's usually
very
what
true.
happens.
That happens often.
And then I have to tie break.
So we're going to break down Rex and Beast more later on, but real quick, are there certain archetypes players lining up right now should focus on when they're picking their team?
I would say Battle Beast has some of the best buttons, including Thula. Really just to touch and get a feel for things. So either Invincible, Beast, and Thula I think are really strong for beginning players.
It depends on your flavor too, what you're actually looking for. Invincible is definitely the most dynamic character we have. Bulletproof has the most mix-up options. Thula is just gonna fuck with people at different ranges, and she's got the yo-yo combos. She's got a lot of stuff to mess with. Rex is mean. He hurts people's feelings. A lot of projectiles, traps, a lot of mobility, and Beast just powers through people's stuff. So it depends on what you're feeling and what kind of synergy you're trying to put together. It's a tag team, so team synergy is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I would say Beast is a good anchor character. He can come in and deliver damage. You don't start with him, you start with somebody else. Get in fast like Mark or Bulletproof, but then Beast can then just do so much damage. So he's a great anchor. Always rely on Beast to come in and destroy.
So without referencing the characters you're currently working on, from this roster, who was the easiest to get to oh, this feels really good, to the most complicated?
Let Dave answer.
Well, we started with Invincible, and that took us quite a while to get to that one, but I don't know, maybe Battle Beast, he came together pretty quickly.
Battle Beast was the most straightforward, because he just hits people in the face with his mace. He's got armor, he just blasts through stuff. To Dave's point, Invincible was the most complex, it's the most difficult, because he's the starting point. and we have to make sure we have a solid foundation for him. And because he's a balanced character, we're trying to see what that means for our game. Like, because that could mean different things depending on the context of what you're trying to do. And Invincible, because he's so dynamic, like, we had to figure out how far we need to push things to really, really get the character to really express what it means to be an Invincible character in our game.
And I would say Thula for animation. I got to give a call out to the animators. Thula's really difficult because of the hair braid. It's a really cool thing, but we don't use mocap. This is all hand-keyed. We're very passionate about hand-keyed animation. All that stuff that she does is hand-keyed. Her hair braid, all that stuff, again, all the S-curves, all the beautiful motion, it's all done by hand. And so she was really difficult for animation, but also a great challenge. We're really happy with the way she turned out. She's a great character. She animates great. And you know, as somebody without hair, seeing somebody that has hair with a blade at the end is pretty incredible.
You have facial hair now. That counts.
Okay, cool. I'm going to actually mention something that's not something you can experience here, but we're definitely working on it. Bill, tell us about rollback and why it's so important, and is this game going to have rollback netcode?
That's a yes. It's a hard yes. I know, rollback networking is kind of a foregone conclusion. This project, I'd say before it even began, right? It was in that original pitch doc that Mike talked about a minute ago. And it's worth mentioning, like the KI team had rollback, really solid networking, all that knowledge. Our online lead, Brandon, on that project, carried that knowledge forward to Invincible. All the tech rebuilt from the ground up for Invincible versus. So it's like, I mean, it's integral to like how we build a game, our tools, how we test. Because, you know, rollback, it's not easy, right? It depends on a lot of other things to be in place technically, like determinism, and it's got to be perfect. So it was one of the biggest pieces of tech that was invested on in the project at the very beginning. So it wasn't something we tacked on later, it was the foundation.
I think it's also worth mentioning, and people might not realize, like, we're a remote team. Like, we're not in an office together very often, if at all. So we're dependent on rollback netcode just so we can play together. So all the stuff you're experiencing or will experience, we're doing it in order to just build the game. So that's why it's critical that online works day one. Actually, before day one.
It affects a lot, like, as a team, like on the programming side or the technical side, tools, iteration time, all that stuff. We have a really technical design team. Like, they can get their hands, like the way we've built our foundation for how everything is implemented in the game, you guys have tons of flexibility, power, control over everything, and it's a lot of complexity, and the team they just pick it up and go. Like, it's a really sharp technical team, but they're super demanding. You know, shit's gotta work fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't be stopping the game to go tune something. Like, everything's gotta be live, sub-second, all the time, and so that was, I don't know. It's another big part of how the team works, and when we're remote, it's all that much more important. We can't go walk over to somebody's desk to fix a problem. It's just got to be quick all the time. So,
awesome. We'll come back to some gameplay for Battle Beast and Rex, but let's look at the controls. So before we go and talk about controls, in case you missed Maximilian Dude's stream, we already announced that we're going to support motion inputs. So yes, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're not playable now on the show floor, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. This is still incredibly fun, especially for me. I'm not very good at motion. But let's talk about the layout for a tag fighter, some complexities there, all the stuff you want to do with the characters, how you reached the inputs here.
So we actually started gamepad focused. We wanted to make sure that everyone who had a console would be able to play with a gamepad and get right into it. The big impetus for us, like, we always wanted to touch on motion inputs, but seeing like the reaction and the importance of it, we pushed it ahead and we're like, oh no, this is super important. So that's why we're announcing it here. Unfortunately, because of like the timing of getting everything done, we weren't able to have it on the show floor for everybody, but it's actively being worked on. The biggest things that we needed to make sure is that whether you're playing standard or motion, that you wouldn't get any desyncs online. We make sure all the UX is updated, that's so you know exactly what your inputs are per character. So all that kind of, you know, busy work and grunt work, but just to make sure all of it feels really, really good when you pick up and play it. So it doesn't matter if you're using a motion input, if you're using standard input, the game should always feel great when you play it.
And you can remap it however you want. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
whether
Okay.
in either style, you can remap it to the way that you like to play.
Yeah.
I think an important thing to bring up too is like feedback is really important to us. We work with the FGC all the time, and it's like we kind of go. We're saying to everybody here, like, we heard you, motion inputs. You know what I mean? So it just made sense to put them in. We wanted them too.
Yeah, and
you know,
when I-
we're fight game guys,
I
but
was
we
gonna say-
do. We love feedback. We love hearing it, and you know, yeah. Sorry,
Yes,
what were you
Rick.
gonna say?
I was talking over you. I was gonna say, I remember when I first tried the game at your house even, it was motion input. So, you know, it kind of went away for a minute. And I think the biggest response I saw online about the simpler inputs for like the controller was just 8 buttons, right? So even when I was like developing and we were like when I tried on a stick, for me, I prefer 6 buttons, right? So going to 8 always felt kind of awkward to me no matter what kind of stick peripheral I used. So once we got the motion controls back in and went back down to 6 buttons, everything just felt way better for me.
But if you do not like motion, you like standard, this is what you're going to play here. I think that's and it's fantastic. I love it. What I was asking first was the thought process behind the standard layout. Like, all the things you want to do in the game, like, how did you, like, where do you start? You just look at a controller and like, oh shit, we got to do all this stuff. Like,
Well, I mean, it comes back to gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, so ergonomics and layout is it's a huge chore, honestly, because it takes a lot to work through. Finger positioning, like what makes sense for chords, like multiple button presses, how you're going to play, like groupings are a big part of it as well. So one of the interesting things that happened when we did go to motion inputs is we actually went from 8 buttons and we managed to simplify it or streamline it down to 5. But that felt off, and one of the things we did get from feedback was having dash as one of the options, as one of the buttons, was a good include. So we're like, okay, cool, like let's figure out where that lands. But honestly, it is an ongoing process. It's very iterative, and a lot of times, like Don and everybody's been mentioning, we work through a lot of this process with our focus tests, you know, with our FGC and stuff like that too. And to be perfectly honest, we start off with like a lot of crazy ideas just to see what sticks, and we focus in on what is really resonating. We're like, cool, that's the basis. We start from there, and then everything else works itself out. And then, like I said, we just test, and we land on like what's the best feeling layout.
believe we got to go to break, but next topic will be the actual defensive offensive mechanics. So we'll pick up there. We'll come back. Okay, so we were talking about the layout, but let's talk about the real meat potatoes. The next slide, which is our, there you go, the offensive and defensive mechanics. So it looks like a lot. We're not going to go over each. It's better to experience this on the. Yeah, that's fair.
Don't sugarcoat it. It's a lot.
I'm going to say it's better to experience this on the floor, but I do want to pick their brains about how they figured this stuff out. Some of the most important ones, things to maybe try first, or what you consider advanced. So let's dig into the offense, yeah?
Well, I don't want to come at it strictly from like the high level stuff first. I kind of want to start with the foundation. Like, we learned a lot during the development of Killer Instinct, understanding the foundations, how movement is so important, especially when we talk about character expression, player expression, and so on and so forth. You know, you could always tell a high-level player by the way they move, you know, in the middle of the match and stuff too. So a lot of those lessons we use to build the foundation of our systems across the board. And one of the biggest takeaways was trying to figure out how we apply lessons that we learned from a one-on-one fighter, you know, and how it can apply and fit in a 3v3 fighter. Like, that is completely different formula that we're messing with. And as we know, like 3v3 fighters, it's all about the numbers. You want those, you know, high-level combos, you know, see if you could TOD somebody, stuff like that, see if how you can convert things, how you OTG, like all that stuff. So, you know, one of the biggest takeaways we learned from Killer Instinct was how interesting the two-way interactions were for that system. And we wanted to see if we can find natural and organic ways to include some of those two-way interactions. So it's not just a, hey, you hit me, I have to watch you do this combo and wait for you to drop or, you know, finish it off. We want players to be invested in the sequence throughout, you know, all multiple different stages of the combo. So we've hit a nice sweet spot with the inclusion of the mechanics that we have. But to pick up and play, we wanted to make sure that the accessibility part was there, and it's just, you could feel it across the board. You could just pick it up, have fun, move the character, run around all over the place, launching characters, and just like have a blast with feeling like a superhero and such too. So I don't know if Dave wants to lean into any of this stuff, or
maybe just pick one, or if you to talk about.
Sure, I guess I can jump in for you. So yeah, I mean, we want to have our two-way interaction. That's one of our favorite things we have in our game. And so we approach that from the 3v3 perspective. Obviously, we've decided one of the big ones we put in there was an assist burst. It's probably written on there. I can't read it. Maybe it says assist breaker. But basically, it's like bringing in your assist to come knock you out, get you out of the combo, right? So, but there's a lot of different interactions with that. There's timers, there's cooldowns, there's boost meter, all sorts of things. And there's some other good ones, and Rip can go into them.
Wow. I was going to say that if you look at this, there's a lot of words on the offensive side, but 3 of them are just how to use assists, and then 3 of them just your active tag. So it's actually a lot simpler than it looks, right? But I think offense and defense in our game, it's obviously a very big part. The speed of the game really lends towards offense, but then we have defensive mechanics like heroic strike, which is basically like an alpha counter. You block something, you can retaliate with the heroic strike. It does cost some of your boost resource to do that. But the cool thing is that you can actually active tag off of it, right? So it really amplifies the amount of stuff you can do defensively in the game to get yourself out of bad situations. So whether it's push block or heroic strike or assist breaker or even counter tag, you have a lot of ways to get out of situations in this game.
Yeah, with our KI DNA, we're going to have a breaker. We're going to have a breaker somewhere in our game, or a few, so we had to have some info.
But I think the interesting for me, like especially when we started to play it, was it's not just stopping the action, but having this ebb and flow. So if you're in a block string, you have opportunities to push block and retaliate with a super, but also you can do a heroic strike and lead back into an active tag, which can also lead to another breaker or a counter tag, and all of a sudden you can get all these fast reads and scrambles that make the game feel very fast and very dynamic.
Well, that was one of the biggest takeaways too, is we didn't want any of these defensive mechanics to be free. There's always mind games, there's always setup, there's always conditioning the opponent, and there's ways to counter or get around them as well. So that's a part of the system that we're trying to set up. On top of that, we really approached this from more of a free-form style of combat. So if you're pressing buttons, stuff's gonna hit. So one of the biggest takeaways we got from Killer Instinct was the inclusion of a meter that was our infinite prevention system. It's our combo meter in essence and such. So as you're dealing damage to the opponent, you're increasing this meter. So it's our visual indicator that says, once you get close to the end of this thing, if you keep going, it's gonna pop, that character's gonna fall out. But we have ways to get around that as well. So our boosted specials, our supers, one of the big ones we wanted to include was also our active tags. So actually active tagging your teammate in allows you to reduce that combo meter and extend that combo even further. So there's a lot of layers upon layers of interactions here that you have to play and experience, and there's no one completely necessary system for you to learn right off the bat, but it's something that you can pick up and kind of utilize as you dig more into the systems as a whole.
And this and the combo meter you're mentioning will all make sense once you start getting some matches in. You'll see the combo meter. It's not here, but before we overload the players or the folks in the audience too much, let's just give them some basic tips. So we assembled a few tips once there. Oh, okay, there you go. Just talk through a few of these. Tapping L is my favorite thing to do. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so we went with with regards to accessibility, similar to some other similar titles, just tap the light button repeatedly to do a light string followed by a special, and if you actually have enough meter, it'll automatically go into a super. We actually allow this to happen in the air as well as on the ground, so if you're just looking to push some buttons and have some cool shit happen, just mash light, just go into it. There's also magic strings and so on and so forth, so just explore the buttons. One of the other things that we also wanted to emphasize is there's different ways to use your tag and your assist in particular. So tag often, use your assist often. This is a tag fighter, so if you have a character that's low on health, swap them out. You actually replenish your boost meter a lot faster as well. And in addition, like we mentioned before, with regards to the combo meter, active tag is one of the best ways to reduce your combo meter as a whole and keep your combo going. So don't don't try to push things too far. If you have a chance to active tag and you're not being predictable, tag your character in to keep things going.
So when in doubt, mash light and tag often. But Rip, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the term active tag is a little bit confusing for some people as well. I think in other tag fighters, you can call your assist, and then you can hit the button again to take over that assist position.
That's
our
switch.
system is different. Yeah, exactly. But people get that mixed up between active switch and active tag. So I just wanted to be clear that we don't have that system, right? Where you can do an assist move and then switch to that assist character after they do their assist call. So that's a very different thing, and I think that our game is actually functions completely different because of our active tag system.
It'll make a lot of sense too when you're tapping light and then you do your assist and then it swaps over and then you can repeat that combo and then you're like, oh, okay, this is how it works. So
Next topic is a quick one, but we wanted to touch upon it. It's the community feedback. So we've behind the scenes done some play tests with a few faces you might know. One sitting right there. Yeah, he is. And they've given us a lot of good feedback on their own. But
Hi, Jeremy.
When we finally reviewed the game, we got a lot of feedback too, even without playing it. So what we already talked about is the first topic. Actually, no. The next topic is actually a new one. If you can go to it. Hey, so we did hear about.
Yes.
Hey, a creator mode would be nice, and we talked about it on Max's stream, but.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I think we're going to put it in our display settings, but it's a content creator mode. So yeah, we don't want anyone to get demonetized if they want to create content for the game. So it's just local to your machine. You're welcome. I see you, Michael.
It's for you.
It basically disables all the gross shit, right? So the overkills happen, they just won't have the chunks and all the crazy stuff or all the crazy blood splatter. There'll still be blood, but it's not going to be the gratuitous stuff, and there's not going to be bones and brain and shit. So, like, record away. It'll be with the game.
And the goal is local only, right? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. You won't affect the person you're playing with. They can go ahead and have all of that glorious blood.
Cool. And then the next topic we talked about. Yeah, that's the one.
We talked about it, but at least now they can see it.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
This was highly requested, so we pushed this forward for motion inputs. And the interesting thing here that we really focused on was the escalation of your inputs. So your specials, your boosted specials, your supers, you do the inputs and it escalates like the power. So all your standard specials are using light, all of your boosted specials use medium, and all your supers and your alt will use heavy. And then for boosted dash, it's medium and heavy. For throw, it's light and dash, and for your assist breakers, it's dash and either one of the assists if you have enough meter and you have an assist available. And then I believe it's snapback is heavy and assist too.
And so you've been playing motion inputs with Max today and through our private Discord. So it's still a work in progress, right? This is not final.
Yes, it's in a prototype, and we're moving our way out of prototype phase, and we love it. We think it's fantastic. We think it's really fast and incredible. So we're going to continue to push on this, and it's going to be in the game. You guys got it.
All right. Oh, it's almost no. Okay. Let's share some gameplay. Let's dive into Rex, but let's play his trailer first.
Seriously rethinking my resolution to be a better guy right now. Coming at you! Bringing the heat! Got something for you! Eat it, jerkwad! Hey now! Roll out the Rex carpet!
Stand aside!
Careful! Hey now! Keep the change! Hey now! Bring in the heat! Time for the big finale! Read fast, dickhead!
Jeff, just to be clear, there is no content filter for Rex alts. At least the words. You got to hold that.
Rip, I'm just going to let you take over because this is your story to tell.
Yeah, we'll let Dan talk about the art progression, though.
Oh yeah, you guys can tag team this one.
Yeah, so I think with Rex, he's he's a fan favorite for sure and for good reason. He's this massive goofball who just doesn't, no one takes seriously and he doesn't take anything seriously. So when we got to him, we're like, okay, how can we differentiate him both visually, but also in terms of personality and motion and movement? And obviously with Don and the animation team, that a lot went into how can we make him feel agile, but also sort of unpredictable, right? Because that's who he is as a character, and we wanted that to be reflected in his kit. And then on the art side, you know, as always, we always go back to the source material and we say, okay, how do we sort of lean towards the show and take some cues from the comics as well, but also make him feel vibrant, right? Make the shape language sort of read from a distance. So I think it goes a long way, both in terms of, you know, getting a good visual on the character, but also gameplay, right? Like gameplay readability is key, and we wanted to keep the clarity there very, very strong. So when it came to the model, our lead character artist Peter Straub did a great job, really sort of defining, okay, how detailed do we take his costume. Obviously, we have some creative liberties when it comes to approaching characters that already exist and kind of doing that translation effort, right? And there's a few characters before that, Beast is one of them, for example, where the show design doesn't necessarily make sense in terms of something that you would expect to animate properly in a game. So we look at stuff like his batons, right? The stuff that he actually uses as an explosive. And how can we make that sort of be attached to his body in a way that is going to feel like it's not just sort of tacked on, but it's part of his design and also part of his kit, right? Because that's what he uses. It's not just a cosmetic thing. So we're always looking at, okay, what is quintessentially Rex? How can we depict that in a way that the player is going to pick up on very quick, while also channeling his personality through and through. And I think with Rex, we kind of noticed that the reveal trailer for him was very well received, and I think for good reason, because he's just such a different character, right? There's something about him that you just get, you love to hate him and you hate to love him.
He's an asshole,
He's a
but
dick.
he's our asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got
heart.
Exactly.
I'd like to talk about animation just really quick too about him. So like in animation, we tend to think of like you kind of bring it down to its base essence of who a character is, you know. And if you think about Battle Beast, he's very staid. He knows he's going to destroy anybody. He's just looking for the best battle. He doesn't need to overextend himself, and so his energy is very centered. It's very calm. It's very relaxed. And Rex is the exact opposite. So we want at a glance, like if you think about an energy, Beast is very low energy, ready to just wreck at any second. Where Rex is much more energetic, and so just at a glance, you're just going to get a sense of that energy between those two characters, and that's what we think about all of our characters, like intensively thinking like at a base level, what is their energy, and how do we convey that?
No, yeah, without a doubt. And I think, obviously, Rex for me is the first fighting game character I've ever designed. So if you guys love it, then hit me up on Twitter.
Great job.
And if you guys hate it, don't talk to me. But I will say about his gameplay, one of the things was, in the order that we built the characters at least, there was a lot of flying characters, and this is a character that's not a flyer character. So we kind of approached it in terms of how do you address his mobility to kind of hang with them, right? So one of the things I asked Dave immediately, I was like, can I give him a wall jump? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. And I was like, can I give him a run? He's like, yeah, sounds dope. I'm like, okay, off to the races, really. So that's kind of where he started, essentially, right? Because we knew he was going to be a projectile zoner because he does so much tossing of projectiles in general in the show. So outside of that, there was really amplifying mobility, right? So he's got this flip move that gives him extra mobility in the air, plus the wall jump, plus the run. So he's got a lot of mobility that really keeps him in line with the flyer characters.
Personal question for you. I know we talked about it before, but having designed a character and then having it revealed to like some of the creators we brought in, and then just them discovering it that you made it, what was that moment like for you?
I honestly kept it secret from a lot of the creators. I didn't want them to know. But the cool thing was, we took it to Combo Breaker. I had Sonic Fox play for a minute and didn't tell him it was mine, but at the end it was like, Rex is the best, I love this character. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
We got some clips lined up for you to talk through. I don't know what order they're in, so just play them and kind of narrate.
Sure.
We play the first one. Should be next.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the clips are about his mobility options, so
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll show his run options and what's in there. Maybe some
There
of
you
the
go.
zoning. So here you're seeing that's his forward flip there. That gives him extra mobility. It sends him forward to there. He can also attack after it. So just like that, you get that down attack. The boosted version actually has invincibility, so you can treat it kind of like a DP. So if people are pressuring you, that's your get off me sort of tool, which obviously if you're kind of any kind of Shoto character, you want something to get off you plus your zoning, right? So those two things together really put them together.
Do you want to play the next one?
Yeah, we just run through the clips
Okay,
in
got
order,
the next
and,
one.
as they're playing, I'll just talk through them. So I think right here, we're looking at Rex. He's got some distance. This is his projectile. And because we had a lot of flyer characters, I let him angle his projectiles, right? That's something we didn't have in the past as well. So there are characters flying above all the time. I was like, he's got to be able to throw something up there. So that's what we dealt with that. This is his run you're seeing here. So that was the running slide he had. And so out of the run, I was like, okay, let's give him some kind of a mix up here. So he's got the running low, which is the slide, but he also gets to mix that up with the running overhead.
Oh, we'll go to Beast in a second, but was it tricky, this for the team actually, was it tricky having a character with his type of projectiles, or was that a new experience for the roster you had so far, or?
Well, Eve already had some projectiles, right? So Rex wasn't the first zoner, but then I think just the fact that we could angle the projectiles changed a lot of it up. And also, if you boost his projectiles, they can stay on the ground, which was, technical things that we hadn't really implemented yet. So setting up those kind of traps, essentially, was something that we still had to develop and figure out along the way. So the projectile system, is something that has evolved as we develop the character.
For anyone who hasn't played Rex yet, anything you want to tell them before they choose Rex on the show floor?
Throw a lot of projectiles, do some flips, jump off the wall, hit him with the running mix-up, boost the projectiles, and definitely taunt. Taunt is definitely the best. He's got the only taunt that attacks currently. Maybe we'll have another one later, but it's a cool taunt, and it overkills, which is awesome. I like that person. I can't see who it is, but I like
Biggest
that.
fan here. Let's do Beast next. So we're going to play that trailer in case you missed it the first time.
Finally, a worthy adversary. Come to me. We're not done yet. We are not finished.
Come now.
Too weak to live. Consider this mercy!
So Bao, I think Beast is yours, but obviously Dan, I know you have a hand in the art, and Don, please. So same idea here. Talk us through building Battle Beast.
Oh my God, Battle Beast is such a badass. His, I think, when we started working on him, I got giddy with excitement because A, it's our first non-human character, and B, well, unless you consider Viltrum non-human, but not human appearing, and B, I think the fact that he had a mace is also is something that made him immediately different, and I think just in terms of how we kind of take what you see in the show, which is obviously a very well-designed version, and sort of make it feel organic and fluid with his braids and his hair. There's a lot to play around with, both in terms of the how we construct the character model, but also ultimately how he's gonna animate. And I think there was so much that went into the design, and we had to make a couple of changes, right? And that's kind of alluding to what I mentioned before. If you look at the versions, like the belt, for example, certain things we had to think about. Okay, how is that going to work for a game? And can we take some creative liberties? Thankfully, we work with the creators pretty closely, and they're open to that kind of stuff as long as it makes sense, obviously, and it doesn't betray the character. And I think this is a different take on Beast. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities, but I think the motion that he has is so weighty, and the actual character design is so sort of massive and intimidating that I think for a lot of people he's going to be your go-to, especially if you like larger characters. You're going to gravitate towards Beast, and it was a pleasure working on him, and I hope we get to have more non-human characters. Who knows?
Shh. Real quick, you said the creators. You don't mean our creator. You mean like literally the people who made the thing? It's
No,
probably
it's,
a good
it's
point.
definitely God.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Robert, Corey,
non-mutual
Ryan.
creator.
He's around too.
animation
Not
team.
mutual,
It's important to make a distinction that we work really close with Robert and team, and they have a hand in it. They're not like far off reviewing it. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, just barely a little bit about that process and like how that helps you make your decisions?
I think the biggest privilege that we have is that we're part of Skybound, so we have direct access to Robert, Ryan, or Corey, and they've been instrumental in defining our art style and being a part of our process through and through. Even now, I don't know if you guys know, but last week we had a cover variant for Beast for Comic-Con. Which is really
Lucky
cool.
gentleman
The
in
guy
the
over
audience
there,
is 1-1
check
himself.
It out, yeah. Robert and Corey and Ryan were fully involved in that version and making sure it shines, and that it's a different take on Beast, but one that still feels like Beast, right? So for us, that is an immense resource, right? Because we know that they're gonna chime in where it matters, but they're gonna let us do our thing because they ultimately it's a collaborative process, and they feel like they can trust us with the IP, which is the biggest privilege that you can have as an artist and as a game dev. Taking an IP like Invincible that we're all super passionate about, and the creators letting us do our thing with it because they know that we're not gonna betray the characters in the world. That is the biggest compliment we can ever get. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I think moving forward with other upcoming characters, there's gonna be more of that, more involvement and more sort of where do we find that sort of special sauce when it comes to the character.
Don, any animation stories you want to talk about with Beast?
The cool thing about Beast is that he has a mace. We're making a melee game and he's got a mace, and so and it was not an option to take out the mace, right? So it was really cool. Well, how are we going to figure this dude out? And it was super fun to work with design. And again, we're super collaborative team. So it's again, best idea wins. But we talked a lot about how to make Beast work within this game. And then, as they were saying about Kirkman, and having access to Skybound, it's they understand about interpreting a piece of art into a different format. So going from comic to show, it's not going to be the comic, it's going to be something different. And they're fight game guys too, so they understand interpreting then the show and the comic into a fight game, what that means. So we need that room to do what we need to do. And they've been great partners and always given us great advice. And again, Beast he's just awesome, right? He's just a great character. He's just a cat who wants to kill you, which is just awesome.
Like every cat.
Yes, like every cat. He's just like every cat on the planet. But he was super fun to work on, and most of the animators, he was one of our earlier characters, worked on him. And so it was great for all of us to collaborate and just come up with an awesome, version of Battle Beast.
All right, Mal, we're going to play some clips. Yeah?
Well, one thing that I did want to add with regards to the collaboration aspect of it as well was they're also very involved in the gameplay side of things. So we take stuff from source material and we try to figure out how that translates into gameplay. And that's not always really a one-to-one, especially with, a lot of stuff we draw from is moments in the show or moments in the comic and stuff, or moments that happen anywhere, whatsoever that we could draw upon. And a lot of times, there's gaps. We're okay, what does normals look like? What are the special moves going to look like? So sometimes we do take some creative liberties, but at the same time, we actually actively work with the creators. Say, hey, does this make sense? Can we push some boundaries? Can we try out something new? And it's been an awesome experience because for the most part, at first they were a little worried. They're I don't know. But then once they saw it in game, they're holy shit, that works. Cool. And then we started building the rapport. But we always have, like we mentioned, this very collaborative spirit. There's a lot of back and forth. So if there's ever any time we go too far, Battle Beast blowing bubbles or something like that, they're I don't know, that might not fly or something like that. But for the most part, it's been a great process.
Thankfully, that never happened.
No. Well, let's look at some gameplay.
Cool.
I think we have 3, so let's start with the first one. Just talk me through this.
So that's Battle Beast. He's holding his mace. He's looking very sternly. Yep. So that's a Super 1. One of the greatest moves in the game. It has a lot of armor right off the bat. Plows through a lot of other attacks. It's great to call if you anticipate your opponent's about to call an assist breaker. In the same vein, that's his boosted special 2. His special 2 normally travels forward and does a double hit, but the boosted version hits multiple times. So you guys were powering through stuff. And for those that are familiar with Marvel vs. Capcom, Sentinel, Pan, and Hagar Pipe, definite inspirations for Beast jumping down heavy. So if you ever have any questions, do that move.
Big fans of the mayor of Metro City.
Oh yeah, we love the mayor.
You mentioned he has armor. We showed that. I want to talk a little bit about the armor.
Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to get across with Beast is he wasn't a mindless combatant. He wasn't just berserking through stuff. He was very technical in the way he fought. And he has technique and stuff. So we wanted to get that across with some of his moves. So with Special 1, he actually does like a parry, and we got that across by applying armor during the first portion of that move, and then he counterattacks and such too. But we also want to get across that he's pretty much an unstoppable force. So on that note, several of his specials actually include super armor during the first portions of the boosted versions of the moves too. So it's a big part of his kit. So I remember early on in development, people were saying like, is he really that good? I don't know about where he's going to fit in the roster and stuff. But once people really start to understand how powerful armor can be, like he quickly flew through the ranks as far as favorites and such goes.
And we're going to play him real soon. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll
awesome
play. All right, we're going to play real soon, but first, a quick shout out to a friend of ours. Next slide. This is all you, Mike, whenever you're ready.
Oh, it's all me?
Oh, okay. Hey, go back. Oh, that was the one.
Oh my God.
That's the one.
So we're really excited to be partnering with Voodoo Ranger. I myself am a huge fan of Juice Force IPA. So both here at EVO, but also next year. So in 2026, we're going to have a limited edition brew, an Invincible Versus beer that's going to be available nationwide.
Hey. All right, let's get some matches going. Mike, Rick, you're up. But first, we have a special commentator guest. Vicious, please join us on the stage.
We love you, Vicious!
What is going on, everybody? You guys are getting some really, really exclusive big-time gameplay for Invincible versus. We got Rip going up against Mike. This one is going to be an absolute banger, I guarantee it, because these guys get mad sweaty. And I guarantee you'll be out testing the game immediately like, yo, how do I do the exact same things that these two brewers have been doing? Because honestly, it's going to be pretty darn cool. Now, I do want to ask some of the devs here, you guys have played amongst each other a good amount of times. How do you feel towards both players in this so far after the first game? Start with Rick, right? We have Invincible, Academy, and Battlefield.
Rip actually has a lot of technical movement that he actually utilizes in his matches. That he catches people off guard a lot with. On the flip side of things, though, Mike is really, really good at his technical defensive capabilities that always catches people off guard.
I'm glad you said defensive capabilities because right now he takes a ball. That's actually the perfect time to commentate this because you can do this for a living now.
This is true. This is true.
Damn, already out. Dula no longer in the equation, but we got Bullet Boom coming on in now. Rex Splode also as the anchor. I feel like Mike's been taking a little bit of Rick's strategy, but taking his character away from him. Don, how do you feel about that? He's locked in. He's just like, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's really cool.
Actually, this is an intense match. I'm loving it.
Honestly, one of my favorite things to see is like the mixed potential with Bulletproof. If you guys haven't tried it just yet, there's a lot he can do with his specials, right? He doesn't kind of have a traditional rec that he ever played, like Phalanx character and Street Fighter. He can also lead it into a high-low mix-up, which is really cool. But what's a high-low to a character that has armor, right?
Well, on top of that, you actively using your assist to actually mix things up even further is another way to just flip the script on anything.
Jesus, the master. And you tag Adam even just for the BM? That's kind of raw, man.
Mike, I thought you were good at this game.
He said something. I should give him the microphone eventually, but this is looking kind of too raw for TV. Honestly, this has been quite the beatdown. But we do have Rex Splode, the character that Rip did work on, so I'd imagine he has the advantage here of being able to read whatever it is Mike's trying to do in terms of like the mix-up potential. Yo, make it hail.
Well, this is an interesting mix-up actually because they're both zoning characters, but the way they play is completely different.
Right, we do see the mix-up potential already. You saw the boosted special coming in from Rex Splode that is an overhead. Oh, beating up the armor, hold on! One of my favorite ults in the game, just because I want to be able to say, read fast, dickhead! Easily one of the best ultis ever in Final Fantasy.
Little known fact, there's actually an alt take for that line that says, here's 7 golden letters for you.
Ooh, that's actually nuts. I didn't know about that. We got the heroic strike. Great thing to use if you're under pressure, by the way, if you're in block stun. If you don't have an assist to back you up, that heroic strike pretty much gets you out of pressure just like that. Mike, standing on his last character, he doesn't have an assist to help him out here. So I do believe that's going to be a really critical part of staying alive. He does have one bar to him, but it's still going to be quite the mountain to climb. He's going to spend it right now. A little bit of a pushback. Can he go in for the punish? No, it's too far. Battle Beast trying to start things off, initiating with that armor. Trying to slide out. I think Rip's just trying to reset the momentum away from Mike, maybe force him to spend a little bit of meter as well. He's at 0 actually, but the boost gauge is what's really important, right? If you drain out all your boost gauge, he's pretty much a sitting duck.
Rip's doing a great job at actually locking down his mobility options as well.
Ooh, swing and a miss though. But the idea, the overhead actually interrupted immediately from Rex Splode. You tried to go in with not going to be quite it either. Yes, sir. Bring him in. We get that continuation. Slam him back down. What's the finisher? Yes, sir. Again.
Good night.
The level 1, you tried to get greedy, and I appreciate that. Give me the armor again. Rip taking it down limb after limb against Mike Willett. Gaining 1 to Rip. Don't let him do this to you, Mike. I feel like I got to get up to him a little bit and kind of get his thoughts. What do you guys think? I think that's proper. Hey man, what the hell happened out there, bro?
I got washed.
That was pretty humble, actually. I'm quite surprised that he just kind of went out there.
I got mental guard break.
That's fair. That's fair. As Dice would say, at first you gotta get washed if you're trying to get clean, right? I think it'll be just fine. 2 out of 3, folks. Still running it with the same exact squad, I do believe, from Mike. Ula will start off. I do like Ula as a point character, mainly because her range is pretty impactful against a lot of the cast, but also she doesn't really need tricks she can do with her hair braid. It's really, really cool to see some of the high-low potential that she has, if Mike is even able to breathe at the moment. But what better way to get started than with Battle Beast? Rip actually thought the exact same thing. Heroic Strike, active tag into Battle Beast is so important. I like this mirror match because it can get quite nutty. Who's going to spend the armor first? Tag him back in. Mark, do your thing. Into the bounce, continuation. A very nice string for mediums to heavies in general into the knockdown. What? Trying to get an active tag as a continuation. Super is going to whiff from the side of Thula. Get off of me, the big assist breaker. And you're immediately waking up with armor? This guy Rip is out for his head. Hold on, Super 1. Give me the line one. Excuse me? 2 weeks to live. He's giving you a deadline? No, 2 weeks to live is what it is. Let me see it. Give me that strawberry jam. Uncrustables, that's what I'm talking about.
Rip, I don't know if you know this, but that's your boss.
Hey, Rip, you're fired. I don't make the rules. If you win, you're actually on leave. You gotta go for it. It'll be hard to punish. I like the idea of the heroic strike. Not gonna be like quite a punish nor a lot of damage, but it's still fine. Still exposed in a row. Bring it back down to earth. Battle Beast just came to say hello. I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are different types of assists in this game, by the way. You'll see certain actions as the character comes in. So that is guided by like what direction you press as you press the assist button on top of it. So that's the anti-air assist. You just saw it from the tag in Battle Beast. And it seems to be good. And I love the battle damage in this game. Everybody's kind of bloodied up. Their costumes kind of torn and tattered. It's a really, really nice addition to the game. To get that balance. He missed the down heavy towards the end of that forward special. Looks kind of well. Are you going to keep Rex Splode in? You're welcome. Sorry, Mike. I was just doing my job, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Rex Splode back in, recovering some life. Really, really important thing. As you get damage over time, you see that purple kind of like shaded health that does get taken away from you as you get damaged. That is recoverable if you swap that character out. Something you've seen in a lot of different versus fighting games too.
On top of that, tagging out is actually the fastest way to recover your boost meter as well.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That boost meter, the 3 yellow bars right below the life bar. Well, that life bar doesn't really exist for Mark. I was gonna say for Mark, but for Mike, technically. But we do got that overkill coming on in there. One of the cooler things in the game, if you happen to finish off your opponent with a special move, you dismember like the entire body most of the time. It's actually really sick. Very like lore accurate to the show, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we tried to recreate that first episode where everything's going along nicely and then suddenly everything goes to shit.
Real quickly too, with no breaks, by the way. It is just non-stop sometimes.
It's just brains everywhere. It's great.
Try to stop me. I'm not holding back.
All right, running it back. I think it's going to be the same squad for Rip, if I'm not mistaken. I saw Invincible, Battle Beast, and yes, Rex Splode as the anchor. On the other side with Mike, excuse me. We got Adam Eve, Battle Beast, and Thula as the anchor this time. Now, we haven't actually had a lot of time to talk about Adam Eve just yet. We won't get to still. Thula is going to be the one doing the work. A little delayed on the down heavy. A lot of the down heavies in this game, I think with all the characters, that is the launcher. They're mine. A little bit of denial on the approach. We do got the grab into the active tag, really slick stuff. Mike was saving it for Nationals, I get it. All right, give me that drill. Yes, sir. Damn. That's a lot of blood, man.
And the song, of course.
That's a lot of strawberry jam. The invisible punch, not going to connect into the assist, hence missing the super. That's a record string, heroic strike. And gets the counter hit, I think he was plus. It seemed as if it was still at his turn. Ooh, pick up. I like that. The overhead coming in for Mark is just so dangerous. He can strike pretty darn well both on the ground, in the air, high and low. That leads into fat damage. Dude, Chicago is getting murked in this stage. Where's the Burger mode at? It's already destroyed in the far left.
If you look closely, there's actually a hot dog cart that goes flying in the background.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't know. There it is. BM is not going to just be for Burger Mart soon. I think Rip might go for something extra BM with one of the taunts. Who knows?
If he can pull that off this match, I will give him a raise or something. I don't know.
All right, he gets a promotion too. That's kind of wild. No tagging in between the supers. I like that. We got the ground bounce. Dropping out of the combos, way too many hits. That's the thing here in this game as well. If your combo continues to just a tad too long, the opponent will bounce out of it.
That's why it's important to active. Reduces the combo meter each time.
That's right. Or being able to use like boosted specials in between really
supers are free.
Helps to extend your combos and the damage potential, right? A little bit of a standoff, bulletproof. Does get the big opener. Here comes Mike with a launch. I like that. A nice safe string with the Super 1. Are you going to act attack? No, we're going to let it flop. All right. I like that idea. No way the raw uppercut. Yo, give me that level 3. Let me see it. Do it again.
Yeah, how you like this?
That's crazy. That was kind of like unnecessary roughness. 2 boosted specials into an ulti.
He wants you to feel it.
Damn. Raw and raw. That was actually insane looking. Hero strike. No uppercut on the way down. Actually, it was a counter hit throw. Luckily enough. Oh, no way. Does that have invincibility? We thought it did. It definitely didn't. That's Mike taking it down over Rip. Rip gets to keep his job. That's crazy. Another round of applause for the devs.
Go.
Showing some really, really cool stuff. Not only with just the characters, a lot of the mechanics, and also the really gory elements that's expected from Invincible in Invincible Versus.
Damn, that guy's good.
He's alright.
I gotta keep my job. Let's go.
Dude, you got a lot of sauce, actually.
No.
No.
My hands are shaking right now. It's nerve-wracking, bro.
Do this real quick. Let me just sit. Jesus. I think you need a seat. You're getting old.
You just gotta lose a couple times, and then my nerves are like, there's nothing, it's dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
So I thought you were on the ropes for a good
Baldo?
amount of time, by the way. I thought Mike was on the ropes a couple of times, actually, or at least a lot of the times, and then he pulled it out.
He made great adaptations there. You know, he knew I was gonna armor, so he was throwing me. I was like, oh, this cheater.
I only do first to 20 sets, so I'm not used to this format.
That one didn't count. I know.
That's the old school way of doing it. It's like first to death, right? We definitely love that old school. But I do want to ask you, there were a couple of times where I've seen like a mechanic where a character would switch in, like the active stack thing, you see another character fly on him, but then you see the character kind of to try to counter that. What is that mechanic?
Counter attack?
That's right.
Yeah, counter attack. If you see someone attacking in, right, during a combo, you have an opportunity to break that. But the person who's actually attacking in, they're going to come with either a light attack or a heavy attack and go off your timing. He called it out. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, he might be dead in the dead. Look at the damage. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's a roller strike there. So that's on block. You can do this. It's basically an alpha counter. And that allows you to opportunity attack instead of falling up things. So anytime someone tries to attack on block, you have a chance to roller strike and push block.
Right on. I like that going into Super 1. Do you call the assist? You get the act attack instead. Dula's trying to do the work. No elbow to the jaw for her. She is fully healed from that episode, I'll tell you what.
Crouching medium. Get him out of here. Snapback.
Right, the snapback element is pretty critical. So even try to drain the rest of that purple health remaining, too. Very, very valid strategy just to get a new character in the game here. This character is so sick. I'm so glad I got to say his ulti line on the stage.
Oh, that was fine. Yeah, I'm jealous. I didn't get to do it first.
I'm so sorry.
Time for a team up. Let's see, I'll take the other half.
Hell yeah. I didn't even do this on. Oh, that too. So, I don't think we've seen that just yet.
No.
Charge normal, right? She held that down.
Exactly. Tula, in general, she has these charge normals. Her charge down medium will actually pull you back, kind of like Scorpion, that's right. But in this game, there are charged mediums in general. So you can do a charge medium on the ground and charge it up. You can get a crumple state out of that. Tula, you saw there are different properties. You got to pull out of it, right? So charging your medium attacks are very useful.
Watch your head. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I've noticed that there's a little bit of extended range even on the ground, and not even just for Tula, but for Adam Eve. Like, if she charges her buzzsaw, it's a lot further out than what you would normally expect. So I can see like the footsie element being taken into play. Even though it's such a high-paced type of matchup, I think there's a lot of certain instances where you can bring somebody out into trying to maybe overstep their boundaries, get
Exactly, and because of the assist you can use too, right? You use like the back assist, which usually have more hits. You get the cover time it's easy to charge with the charge meter, and then you can build a range attack, cast charge, etc.
That's a lot of sense. Dude, locked and fully loaded, by the way. As Tula's getting beat down, bouncing on 5 meters.
That's a lot of meter.
That is max, by the way. You have access to so much potential damage. And Mark comes in. Different dimension, Mark. Hold on. Wait a minute.
3 bars burn.
I blame the lack of gravity on the moon.
Could be.
Viltrumites haven't fully adapted to what the moon is like, I feel like.
There's space a lot.
Taste of reality.
Oh my god.
Hey, through the hole. This is actually the 6th animation. He is gonna drop in space. In space. That's actually, whoever decided to do that, by the way, hats off to you, genuinely. I never thought I'd see Azuna drop that quick.
And with the new creator mode, you can turn that off so you don't get demonetized, Jeremy.
Yeah, you don't want to be demonetized as creator. That's beautiful. Wow. You see Azuna drop your own hat? That's crazy.
We say hats off to this, though.
Remember their last character? Roll through. Ult on the back here, super on the back instead.
Yo, and the stomp right on the grill.
First game to bow.
She's bleeding a lot.
We're shaving you bald for the greater.
I love how the effects still stay on the character even after the windscreen. Or like during the windscreen, I should say. Right? The battle damage, or at least the damage you done to the opponent, that's actually really, really slick.
Nah, super cool. I love the damage in general, right? Over time, you see your character, your idle mode changes once you get the hurt animation playing, where they take enough damage, I think it's like 80%.
See, one of the first things I really look for in like a versus fighting game, I want to see who do like really quick high damaging sequences. And then also how to counter the hell out of that so I never become susceptible to it. But I feel like with the way the assists work, plus the boosted specials, it feels like there's really a lot of potential for both hits and also high damage off of turns.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, one thing we haven't really talked about what's in this panel is that combo meter. You can see it building up, and we also talked about the active tag, right? If you can successfully mix up your active tag, you'll actually drop that combo meter down and further extend your combo. So there are ways to bring that combo meter back down so you can get more infinite.
Oh, you can see it right here, actually cutting into the super and doesn't raise that meter. Now the active tag, I like that. Right
That was
the
the
break
counter tag right there, right? So that counter tag there means that he successfully timed the reaction tag. So he took a lot more heavy. And right there, that was a miss. That's why he flashed red that time.
So the character not only flashed red, but there's also indicators in the game that says you failed.
Exactly. It tells you whether you're early or late on your counter attack. Heroic strike. Beautiful strike. Combo off. It just missed the combo though. Do it.
1, 2, 3.
And the action attack. You see the combo strike. Fatal late. That time on the screen. So late on the action attack break. So the counter attack. And that time too early. It doesn't matter. The combo drop. Heroic strike. The last hit for sure.
That's a good call. You don't want to be susceptible to the active tag either way, right?
And so super can beat armor, right? Super can beat heroic strike. So when you block it, you have to wait for the last hit that super. Super can beat heroic strike again.
I like that.
Yeah, successful counter attack again.
Checking the peripherals of the down. I see
Yeah,
you.
down working very well there.
Damn, babe.
I know you had it in you.
Don't look at me. Look at the screenplay, boy. He was so proud. He was so proud. He was like, yeah, that's right. I'm the boss right now.
I'm that charge medium, but that's something we haven't really seen yet, right? I mean, I know Dave likes Gopher too. He loves trying to get the couple stuff to get the medium.
Ooh, yeah. No, I totally see the utility behind it. Kill the diagonal, dash back down to get an initiation. Using my boosted. With my hair back and forth. That actually messed up. That was quite the mix. So funny enough, like, no matter which way the character's coming from, you still can counterattack with just 2 branches,
yes.
right?
Yes.
It's what, medium and heavy? At the same time, counterattack? So it's not directional.
Call out on the break there. Got both of them. Happy birthday. Every attack, counterattack gets them out of happy birthday though.
Yeah, I feel like if you get that right, you're giving the opponent like a second chance of like getting out of a super, right? So there's a little bit of like a little mix in itself,
exactly,
right?
That's the big thing about this game, right? Just that 2 interaction. Even if you're in a combo, you're never out of it, right? You have to be paying attention at all times. A lot of things are brought in. Right? The first time they play the game, I'm sitting with them, they're getting combos, they throw them tune out. I'm like, no, you can break. You can break there, you can break there.
Yeah. A lot of activity in regards to like what you can do on both offense and defense.
Exactly.
It's really fun to even cut it out.
Yeah, that boosted forward special from Beast. Only make me fight hard. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh my god! They got dash into each other?
Or they're just really intimidating.
You guys are freaks, man.
I don't know.
You guys like to live dangerously. Oh my god, that's what I was talking about right there.
He missed it.
That could have been such a big combo.
Water is so bad too.
Oh, to get on. Yeah. What happens afterwards? If you do snap back?
I don't know, we'll see.
Okay. Right on. No alley-oop for me, though. Make it rain on him. Ooh, get a put. Her head fell off.
Put it back.
Her entire head just fell off. That's crazy. That was maces to faces. That's actually insane.
Wild character. No, we'll keep the life back there. It's just out of range.
No. Oh, this might be the comeback of the century. Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Too weak to live.
Too weak to live. Oh, come on now. Come on. I was about to rip your arm
I know.
off.
I was ready for it.
I was about to treat you like an invincible character.
Oh my
Too
god.
weak to live. When I hear that, I feel like I'm in danger. And I'm not even playing in the game. I'm in danger.
Yo, what's the score here? Is that one? Was that 2-0 now?
That's it.
All right. Yes. All right. One more game. Let's see what happens here.
This is it right here, man.
Loser buys me a Voodoo Ranger.
I know how important bragging rights are for you guys.
We have a very long-standing rivalry. Dates back to Street Fighter 4.
Word?
It kind of sucks that several versions of me end up being
I didn't know they got that like that.
Don't beat yourself up over it. Leave that
We
to
got favoritism.
Come
Let's
on
go,
now.
Dave.
Where's the Dave fans at? No one? No one. Is it the one about with?
There's the one Dave fan.
Where's the
That's what I'm
Dave
talking
fan?
about.
I got you. All right.
Side bomb really interesting choice.
It's gonna hurt.
I mean, you could probably get it. You could probably get it.
Counterattack successful that time, well timed. Arms from Beast there. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Yo, full combo damage into the super. Get down here! Oh.
I'll make you regret this.
What? Get down the Oh, get
him out of here! Arena shifted! If you trigger an arena shift, your boost meter now regenerating non-stop for like 10 seconds. And the assist are locked down for him too.
Look how fast it's regenerating. You have access to so many boosted specials off of that.
Yeah, or boosted dashing, right? Boost moving this game as well. Nice counterattack there.
Here we go.
And you get a free trip to the Himalayas?
That's a free trip to the Himalayas.
That's a steal, dude.
Amazing.
I love that.
Missing time. Also getting one Chrome Runner snap match.
Stay down.
That was a crossup? That was
a fist breaker too.
Oh no, I wanted to see some more.
Oh goodness, oh goodness. I think Mark might be out here.
Damn.
Battle is sitting up 4 bars.
I'll make you regret
That is a
this.
dangerous animal. I was gonna say dangerous animal.
Dangerous beast.
Hybrid?
Watch your head.
Too weak to live.
Oh, it's a win! It's my favorite ultimate thing.
But the kill. Will it kill?
I think it does. Maybe. Strawberry Jam is crushable. Oh my god. Her head fell off.
Yummy.
I don't like how you said yummy.
Girl.
Well done, well done. Don't forget, if you guys want to get your hands, the game is playable right now in our booth, G11. Just head on over there towards the tournament stations, dead center, easy to find. All 6 characters still playable right now.
And again, big shout outs to everybody involved in this panel. Can we get another round of applause for the team behind Invincible Versus?
Thanks, Evo.
Thank you, Vicious.
Thank y'all. Bye. Bye. We appreciate it, you guys coming out. For the fan Q&A, we're going to answer online, so apologies we didn't get to it. But just come to the booth. We'll take care of you.